Okay, we'll continue with the word of the Most High. Let's go to Proverbs 14 and 12. You know, there's a judgment against being self-exalted, being yourself, self-righteous, and so forth. Proverbs 14 and 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. It seems right to you, but the end thereof are the ways of death. That's why you got to know what's right from wrong. Go to Isaiah 28 and 16. Isaiah 28 and 16. Therefore, thus said the Most High Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste. You ain't gonna run. This is my shall kill a shot. Judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet, keeping of the Most High's laws to the plummet. And the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies. Hell won't sweep away the refuge of lies, and the waters shall overflow the hiding place. Where they hide. And your covenant with death, your contract, your agreement with death shall be disannulled. You know, it's going to be disannulled. And your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it. When my shall come to judge and make war, you will be trodden down by it. From the time that it goeth forth, it shall take you. For morning by morning shall it pass over, by day and by night. And it shall be a vexation only to understand the report. It's going to vex you to understand this report. For the bed is shorter than that a man can stretch himself on it, and the covering narrower than he can wrap himself in it. But the Most High shall rise up. See? The Most High got to rise up. Then you're going to tell the Mashiach Rashai to rise up. As in Mount Perazim, he shall be wroth, as in the valley of Gibeon, that he may do his work, his strange work, and bring to pass his act, his strange act. Now therefore be ye not mockers, for be no mockers. Most High is not mocked. He that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which ye have done. But therefore be ye not mockers, lest your bands be made strong. For I have heard from the Most High power of hosts, power of armies. So I have heard from the Most High power of angels, power of armies, a consumption, you know, a consumption. Even determined upon the whole earth. So what you're going to do, you're going to make new earth and new heavens. Even upon the whole earth. Where you going to be at? You going to be a sheep or you going to be a goat? Go to the book of Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. The first chapter, 27th verse. For the fear of the Most High is wisdom. And he told you in verse 26, if thou desire wisdom, which is the proper application of knowledge, keep the commandments, and the Most High shall give her unto thee. Right? Verse 27, for the fear of the Most High, to be afraid, to be scared of the Most High, that's fear. And if you're afraid and fear of the Most High, the fear of the Most High is wisdom and instruction and faith and meekness, which is humility, are his delight. You know that? Faith, having faith in him, and being meek, being humble. That's the Most High's delight. Or you got a problem with it, take it up with the Most High. Just what the scripture's saying. Look at verse 30. From what we're dealing with, self-exaltation, self-righteousness, self-elevation. Listen, verse 30. Exalt not thyself, lest thou fall, and bring dishonor upon thy soul. And so the Most High discover thy secrets, and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation, because thou camest not in truth to the fear of the Most High, but thy heart is full of deceit, full of lies. Your mind is full of lies. Say, exalt not thyself, lest thou fall, and bring dishonor upon thy soul. Bring dishonor upon yourself. And so the Most High discovered thy secrets. Remember, the eyes of the Most High are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men. The Most High discovered your secrets, and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation, because thou camest not in truth to the fear of the Most High, but thy heart, which is your mind, is full of deceit. Zephaniah 3. Go to the book of Zephaniah. Your mind is full of lies, because you're not going by thus said the Most High. You bringing it, you're not living it. You got to live it. You got to learn it. You got to live it. You got to apply it in your life. Zephaniah 3 and 11. In that day shalt thou not be ashamed for all thy doings, wherein thou hast transgressed against me. For then I will take away out of the midst of thee them that rejoice in thy pride. See, them that rejoice in your pride, he will take out of the midst of them. And thou shalt no more be haunted, you will no more be prideful because of my holy mountain. I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people. They shall trust in Yahweh Shai, the remnant of Israel, 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity, shall not be wicked, shall not sin, nor speak lies. No lies going to the kingdom. Neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth. They shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid. Like we say, there's going to be more tears, no more sadness, no more pain. Say, none going to make us afraid either. That's why we got to have faith in the Most High. Go to Luke, the 7th chapter, and start at verse 36. And one of the Pharisees desired him that he would eat with him. And he went into the Pharisee's house and sat down to meat. And behold, a woman in the city, which was a sinner. And she was a sinner, she was transgressing the Most High's laws, statutes and commandments, and judgments. When she knew that Amashek sat at meat in the Pharisee's house, brought an alabaster box of ointment, and took at his feet, and stood at his feet behind him, weeping, and began to wash his feet with tears, and did wipe them with the hairs of her head, and kissed his feet, and anointed them with the ointment. Now when the Pharisee which had bidden him saw it, he spake within himself, saying, This man, if he were a prophet, would have known who and what manner of woman this is that touches him, for she is a sinner. You know a Pharisee, we know him before. That same kind of spirit, right? When he said, how is your master sitting with publicans and sinners? Now, this woman that's a sinner, she crying, she washing his feet with tears, and wiping them with the hairs of her head, and kissed his feet, and anointed them with the ointment that she had. Verse 39. Now when the Pharisee which had bidden him saw it, when they saw this, he spake within himself, saying, this man, if he were a prophet, would have known who and what manner of woman this is that touches him, for she is a sinner. Self-exaltation, self-righteousness, self-elevating himself. The Pharisee, you can see how proud he think he is. And the Mashiach was saying, answering, said unto him, Simon, I have somewhat to say unto thee. Remember, it's the Pharisee house he's in. And he said, Master, say on. He say on. Mashiach said, I got something to say to you. He told him, hey, say on. There was a certain creditor which had two debtors. The one owed 500 pence and the other 50. So one owed 500 pence and the other 50 pence. And when he had nothing to pay, he frankly forgave them both. Tell me therefore, which of them will love him most? So which one will love him most? See how he always come with some kind of parable, some kind of riddle? Simon answered and said, I suppose that he to whom he forgave most. And he said to him, thou hast rightly judged. The one that owed the most, he forgave him? Yeah. He would feel like he was more blessed, since he owed more, and he had more that was forgiven him. Verse 44. And he turned to the woman and said unto Simon, seest thou this woman? You see this woman here? I entered into thine house, so I came into your house, you as a Pharisee, Simon. Thou gavest me no water for my feet. You ain't give me nothing to wash my feet off. My feet all sandy and dusty. You didn't give me nothing to wash my feet off. Thou gavest me no water for my feet. But she had washed my feet with tears and wiped them with the hairs of her head. She's a sinner. Thou gavest me no kiss, but this woman since the time I came in have not ceased to kiss my feet. My head with oil thou didst not anoint. So you ain't anoint me with no oil. Pharisee. Thinking they all that. High-minded. Better than everybody. My head with oil thou didst not anoint, but this woman has anointed my feet with ointment. Wherefore I say unto thee, her sins, which are many, are forgiven. For she loved much, but to whom little is forgiven, the same loveth little. See? So she loved much. But to whom little is forgiven, the same loveth little. You love a little, little will be forgiven you. And he said unto her, thy sins are forgiven. He said unto her, thy sins are forgiven. One thing about it, that crying, that weeping, has an effect on the Most High. And here you see that effect on the Mashiach Yahushua. Because she's weeping and repenting. Why would we say your sins forgiven? Because she's probably saying, forgive me, forgive me. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And she felt it. And he said unto her, thy sins are forgiven. And they that sat at meat with him began to say within themselves, who is this that forgiveth sins also? Who you think you are that you can forgive her sins? See? Verse 50, and he said to the woman, thy faith hath saved thee. Go in peace. Faith, her belief in the Most High, saved her. Say, go in peace. Luke 15. We just about finished here. Luke 15 and 11. And he said, a certain man had two sons. A certain man had two sons. And the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of goods. Give me the portion of goods that falleth to me. He said, give me the portion of goods that falleth to me. And he divided unto him his living. He gave to him his living. So he said, hey, give me my portion now. So the father gave to him his living. And not many days after, the younger son gathered all together and took his journey into a far country. So he left from amongst his father. He got all his living, his inheritance, he got all his money and so forth, and he left to a far country. And there wasted his substance, was riotous living. Went out into the world. We in Luke 15, 13, verse 14. And when he had spent all his inheritance that his father had given, he went through this far country, living it up, partying and having a good time, spending his money on this, that, and the third, and a fourth, and maybe a fifth. And when he had spent all his money, there arose a mighty famine, food shortage in that land. And he began to be in want. He didn't have any food to eat. He just spent all his money. And he went and joined himself to a citizen of that country, and he sent him into his fields to feed swine. So he sent him in his field to feed the hogs, the pigs, the swine. And he would fain have filled his belly with the husk that the swine did eat, and no man gave unto him. So you might as well eat this husk that the pigs was eating. And no man gave unto him. Nobody gave him anything. And when he came to himself, when he realized, what am I doing? He said, how many hired servants of my father's have bread enough and to spare? So how many hired servants of my father have enough food to eat and some leftovers? And I perish with hunger, and I'm sitting here hungry. I will arise and go to my father, and will say unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before thee, and am no more worthy to be called thy son. Going to him, repenting to his father. Make me as one of thy hired servants. And he said, hey, I'm not even worthy to be your son. I done did all kind of things in the world. He said, make me as one of your hired servants. He hungry. He want to be fed. And he arose and came to his father. But when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him. He was coming back to his father's house. His father seen him. That's look like my son. And had compassion, and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him. And the son said unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in thy sight, and am no more worthy to be called thy son. But the father said to his servants, bring forth the best robe, and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand, and shoes on his feet, and bring hither the fattest calf, and kill it, and let us eat and be merry. Say, hey, put a ring on his finger, put the best robe on him, put shoes on his feet, and bring hither the fattest calf, and kill it, and let us eat and be merry. So let us eat and have a good time and be merry. For this my son was dead. See, when you lost, you don't understand this truth. You understand the law, statutes, and commandments. The Most High, what you're supposed to be doing it to be righteous in his eyes. You lost. You're dead. For this my son was dead and is alive again. You become alive when you come back to the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments, and doing what's right in his eyes. Having faith in him. he was lost and is found. They began to be married. They began to have a good time. Now his elder son was in the field. As he came and drew nigh or near to the house, he heard music and dancing. Uh-oh. Who's telling this story? Well, all you New Testament buffs, all you Jesus lovers, who's telling the story? Because a lot of you don't believe in dancing and music and dancing. Y'all don't believe in this. But who's telling the story of Mashiach Yahushua? He said, now his elder son was, this verse 25, in the field. And as he came and drew nigh and near to the house, he heard music and dancing. Music and dancing. Remember he said, began to be married? He heard music and dancing. They was having a party. Music and dancing is a party. Mashiach telling the story. So they was dancing and music. Playing music and they was dancing to the music. And he called one of the servants and asked what these things meant. So his elder son, Bill was his father, he called one of the servants and said, what's going on, man? What's happening? I hear music and dancing. What's going on, man? And he said unto him, thy brother is come, and thy father hath killed the fattest calf, because he hath received him safe and sound. Because he's back safe and sound, living a riotous life. And he was angry. Listen, he got angry and would not go in. Therefore came his father out and entreated him. He wouldn't go in. His brother's back. He was, you hear what he said? He was dead, but now he's alive. And he answered, said to his father, lo, these many years do I serve thee, neither transgress I at any time thy commandment. Did I? This is self-exaltation. This is self-righteousness. This is self-elevation. This is what he said. Neither transgress I at any time thy commandment. And yet thou never gavest me a kid that I might make merry with my friends. So I ain't never did anything against what you stand for, your commandments. So you ain't never gave me a kid in comparison. I ain't never been able to play music and dance and have a party with my friends. That's what he's saying. But as soon as this thy son was come, not my brother, but your son is come, would have devoured thy living with harlots, with prostitutes. Thou hast killed for him the fattest calf. Wow. And he said unto him, son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. He said, you always with me. He said, all that I have is yours. It was meet, it was right that we should make merry and be glad. For this thy brother was dead and is alive again, and was lost and is found. So you see that? That's why Mashiach told the story of you have 100 sheep, and one go astray. You can do whatever you can to get that one back into the sheepfold. You're going to be married, you have a party because you got that one sheep back. That's what he's saying there. His brother was gone. You see how he felt? He said it, you know, hey, I've been here. I did everything you said to do. So you ain't never killed no fat. You gave it to me. And my friends have a party and, you know, dance and make merry. This situation is different. But look what he said. So he looked at his brother. Verse 30. But as soon as this thy son was come, not my brother, but thy son, your son was come, which have devoured thy living with harlots, thou hast killed for him the fattest calf. And he said unto him, son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. So you're always here, you've always been with me, and everything that I have is yours. The oldest son, they get to inheritance. That's the law. But just show you how he exalted himself right there. Instead of being glad that his brother didn't come back from the dead to be alive again. Revelation, the 3rd chapter, verse 17. Revelation 3 and 17. Because thou sayest, I am rich and increase with goods and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched. No matter how much money you have, knowest not that you are wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked. See, I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness, your exposure, do not appear, and anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see. See what he said? As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. Be zealous, therefore, and repent. That's real. That's what it's all about, people. Come back to the Most High. Do what he say do. Follow what his rules and regulations. Don't fall into the traps that's set here for you in this wicked world, this wicked, evil world. And don't elevate yourself. But be humble before the Most High. He want a humble and broken and contrite spirit. And with that, we say all praise to the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua. And I hope it was edifying for you. I hope you will hear the word of the Most High. And we continue on. There's much more that I can bring to the spirit of the Most High. And with that, I'm out.